this is what we did on holiday. We travelled up on Wednesday. Thank you, Kate. Much obliged. We had said that we were going to be on holiday really to give us more time for service improvements so we can get our files up in order, but they wanted to come anyway, so it meant I had to go. Hooray! The drive up was really lovely and boring. No flat tyres, no scary bits, and we got up here about an hour before it got dark, which was nice. Boat was all in good order, nice and dry. It was scarily warm. It was like taking off in one country and landing in another, because it was nice in Cornwall but still quite chilly. But it was one of the warmest days of the year, and when we got there, got to Roxham, it was open the car door and the warmth. It was really quite bizarre, but it was nice. Had a good night the first day, and then the plan was to travel down to as near Yarmouth as we could and get ready for going through Yarmouth at Slackwater on the Friday. Went much as we thought. We stopped off at Ranworth. We visited Ranworth. We had to stop at the island for probably to have a pee. But even at this time of year, with virtually no boats at all, Ranworth was full. Obviously very, very popular. A lot of the other moorings were completely empty, like St Bennett's. So, always a usual favourite. And then eventually we went down to Stokesby, which was getting a bit scary because we timed it as such that we would have got to the Stacey Arms just as we got exactly pitch black. And if something went wrong, we were driving another 40 minutes back again in the pitch black, which can be fun, but if you're not sure about your mooring when you get there, not so good. So we got a lovely mooring at Stokesby and stayed there the night. Had to set off really early to get for its flat tide, so I was up and about at 5:30, set off at 10 to 6, and timed it just about spot on. We were too fast because we were going with the current, so I slowed down, and then I went a bit too slow, and we were about 10 minutes past slack tide. However, the tide was just fractionally coming in, but really nothing to worry about, which made it perfect because you really don't want to have the current taking you towards the bridges. We took the radar arch down, but left the screens up because we should have had something like 10 foot. As it was, the first bridge we had 9.5 foot with 6 inches to spare. That was fine. The next bridge we had 3 inches to spare with the screens up. I thought, I'm going to go for it. I measured this, I know exactly how, and we did have exactly 3 inches to spare. It was a sphincter moment, the best way of describing it. Di was asleep because she wasn't feeling brilliant, and I was literally bricking it as this bridge come up. You know you're going to get underneath, you've measured it, you know what the bridge is, there's no problem, but as that bridge gets closer, 3 inches in a boat this size, 45 foot boat, 12.5 foot wide, 3 inches is very, very small. Braden Water, much to my disappointment, was like a millpool. No waves, absolutely dead calm. And then Di woke up halfway across Braden Water, and we stopped at the Burnley Arms, which is about to be opened, and we met the dad of the guy that's bought it, which didn't have a chat with him. There's loads and loads of moorings there, and although apart from when the pub's open, there's absolutely nothing else. Absolutely beautiful. And the first time we came, we were nervous about how high it was for mooring, but with Magnifique, it's exactly the right height. You just step off from the side, and that's at low tide. So that was absolutely spot on. Almost wanted to stay there really. If we had more time, we would have stayed there probably a couple of days if we were allowed to be. Then from there we went on Where did we stay the first night? Where did we stay the first night down south? We went past Reedham, which we were going to stay at, but it was all taped up and they were cleaning up ready for the start of the season. Which was just a tad annoying if you're planning to come down. It's 3 moorings, normally open. So we then went on and we stayed at Rockingham St Mary's, that's right. And we were the second boat in, and that was a relatively easy mooring. But all the other boats came in, and they're all big ones, same size as us. But everyone else had bow thrusters, and they were just turning on a sixpence. So, not deliberately, but we let them go out first, to our embarrassment in private, and then went up ourselves. Now for a bit of a confession. Day 1 of travelling, we went up to Potter Hyman. The sign says, don't turn beyond this point. But we did it last time, and turning to starboard takes a bit of a time. Turning to port, boat turns on a sixpence. No problem. This time it didn't. We were 90 degrees to the current, going towards the bridge. We swung round and we did a perfect mooring on the starboard side of the river. If that was intentional, it would have been perfect. But could we get off the side? We pushed off, we started moving, the nose came round, we bounced off the back on the side. Tried again. Bounced off the side. I had to go at the helm, I pushed out, we went forward, I shouted, reverse! Not quite fast enough, banged into this high boat in front, no one there, no damage, but it was a bit of a bang. If we hit any harder, I think we would have sunk it, because we hit it with the bow. So then, we tried going backwards. In fact, we were going backwards unintentionally, first of all, and we couldn't get off to push off just to go backwards. And we've got this metal bit on the back, and we basically shaved all the wood of the moorings. Fortunately, we did no damage. I don't think we did any damage. We did no damage to the boat, apart from picking the bits of wood out. But there were boats on the other side, so if we're on YouTube in a few weeks' time, you know why. But blimmin' embarrassing. And then eventually we got moored up, and we went to the stores at Potter Hyman, which is a bit like Trago Mills. Sells a little bit of everything. But any confidence I had, any feelings of superior, I'm on my own boat, I know how to steer this boat, out the window, get in the wrong situation, and you're stuffed.
Oh, that was the one that was where we were before.
Yep.
Sorry.
So, we're now heading towards Yarmouth. Hopefully, be a nice, uneventful mooring. However, this is a big boat, 45 foot long, and we've got a turn. However, there should be very little current there, and if push comes to shove, we can just turn the boat by hand, which other people do. So hopefully, oh yeah, the other thing, water. In bed last night, I went to bed early. I've been getting up with the dawn, going to bed when it gets dark. So I came to bed late,
Well,
and I heard the
11.
water going, and it wasn't stopping. I thought, is that the bilge pump? First of all, thought the bilge pump was stuck on, like the high boat we had. Had a look around, found the front bilge, and fine, that was working fine. Still getting this buzzing. Traced it to under the step by the gas bottles, and that's our water pump. It appears to be a 3-in-1 water pump. It seems to pump the hot water, cold water, and also the toilets, which seems a bit strange because they've got separate water tanks. So, turn the pump off. We've got a switch on, switch off for the water pump. Remember the next time. But now, like it did before when it seemed to run out too quick, we're out of water. We got about 3 bottles of 2 kettles, 2 bottles and a jug worth of water saved before it completely ran out. And that's all our water. Once we top it up, I'll keep the pump off unless we're using it and see if we save our water. If it goes down again, we've got a problem that needs fixing. If it's just the pump, quite cheap. The way it works, when the pressure drops, once, sounding in old English. Once the pressure drops, the water comes on. If it's just a pump change, we're probably looking at about 20-30 quid. If the whole tank is leaking, although the bilge is dry, and that's an awful lot of water to be losing, that could be big money. What we did do though, it's quite good fun, we managed to have a full strip wash with half a bottle of water each, a Coke bottle of water in a kettle, and basically you start with the clean bits and get to the dirty bits last. Start with your face, fresh water, hair when it's a little bit dirtier, well that time, probably armpits, soapy, slightly soapy water, do everything first of all, leaving certain parts to last, then do the same again with a clean bit of water. That literally takes about 3 cups of water, that's all, and you're washed. Some of those it's more. Then, at the end, do the unmentionable bits. But effectively, you can get fully washed with about that much water, virtually no gas, and spot your dog. So, our plan of getting a drum, little, put in an immersion heater, about 1000 watt immersion heater, and a little shower that goes on top of it, that should be spot on. That should do everything we need to do. But it shows you how little we need. However, we've now got that much water fresh to drink. The other thing we found out, obvious really, we can flush the toilets with river water, but you won't want to drink it. And yeah, we're actually relatively clean considering we've got no water. However, we have got to get somewhere soon to get water, otherwise, yeah. We've got orange juice and we've got a bottle of Coke, and then we want milk. We can do a Cleopatra.
And then pina colada.
Bathe in milk. I think I'm beautiful enough as it is. Yeah. That was very camp, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I said yes. Anyway, goodbye from me, and it's
Goodbye from me.
goodbye from her. And we'll speak to you later. Goodbye.